I'll start off by saying that Dellorme won the fight. I had Hank Lundy to win the fight in predictions, but Dellorme won the fight. Now you had 96-93 and 97-92 for Dellorme, and then you had 96-93 for Hank Lundy. It was a split decision win for Dellorme. But let's talk about the tale of two fights. Okay, now Hank Lundy was winning the first round until he got knocked down. So basically that made it a 10-8 round for Dellorme, and that was the most significant point of the fight outside of round 6 when basically, in my opinion, Lundy swept round 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, which showed a Dellorme that makes me think, well, if he goes to the distance, meaning if he goes to a 12-round fight against a pressure fighter, I do not know. And you got Lundy, who's somewhat in between that. He's somewhat of a boxer, you know, and a puncher. But what we saw, okay, let me point out something to you. You had Tomas Dellorme, who landed, if I'm correct, 151 punches, and then you got Lundy 152 punches. But here's something else interesting. You got Dellorme throwing 447 punches, and then you got Lundy 451 punches. When it comes to the power punches, you had Lundy land 110 of them compared to Dellorme, maybe 89 of them. Now, depending on what kind of fight you were looking at, and depending on what judge you are, a lot of judges could have scored this fight differently, but my personal opinion, Dellorme won basically based off of that knockdown in the first round. So the biggest concern about this fight to me is when it comes to Dellorme, who's trained by Robert Garcia, I'm thinking, okay, all right, you're a 147-pound fighter. You took your first loss to somewhat of a pressure fighter in Abrego when he basically just beat him up and took his heart. And that was back in 2012, if I'm correct, when HBO was trying to hype him up back then. So when I was watching that fight back then, I'm thinking to myself, like, who is HBO hyping this Tomas Dellorme? Now we're seeing him, yo. Now he's getting some, he had Kareem Mayfield. You know, he beat Kareem Mayfield cleanly. Kareem Mayfield just didn't have enough pressure. And also Kareem Mayfield was just too stiff. To whereas, and if you look at Lundy somewhat came out with the wrong game plan. He came out a little too aggressive. To whereas, it looks like he was trying to stop Dellorme early. But then you can tell he started getting, like, you know, you can tell after eating right hands, you know, that he started getting discouraged, because Lundy is the type of guy that he relies on his head movement, and, you know, he doesn't keep his hands up. So he'll be stalking you, walking right up to you. And if you're a fighter with fast hands, you can tag him. Just like when it came to the punch that came behind the head when he got knocked down in the first round, it's because he was in there with Dellorme who had the discipline to say, okay, he's all rough and he's all discombobulated and doing all this wild shit, you know, and hit him cleanly in the back of the head. But what's next for Dellorme? Well, he's creeping closer to a title shot. I'm guessing maybe creeping closer toward, when it comes to 140 pounds, he's not fighting Danny Garcia and he's not fighting Lamont Peterson, so leave it out of there. So we might as well just talk about Chris Algieri. All right? Chris Algieri, if Chris Algieri can still make 140 pounds, Ruslan Pavodnikov, you got Terrence Crawford moving up. The 140-pound division is stacked. You even got Jesse Vargas down there. And then if Pacquiao versus Mayweather don't work out, Mayweather versus Pacquiao don't work out, then you'll have Manny Pacquiao coming down to be the king of the 140-pound division. And Dellorme's not getting him either. So Dellorme has some work to do. You know, it was a tough, good win for him to beat Hank Lundy. And Hank Lundy, looking at his record, he lost to John Molina, Ray Beltran, and Victor Postol. And if you don't know who Victor Postol is, Ukrainian fighter, he was supposed to fight Danny Garcia. Fight kept going to a purse bid, but he got paid out to not invoke his mandatory clause as of yet. So the way it looks right now is unless Postol fights someone for that spot to be #1 contender for that WBC title, then he'll be getting the WBC title, you know, by fighting someone for a vacant belt or having to fight Danny Garcia sometime definitely before 2015 is out. But if you don't know, Danny Garcia will most likely be moving up to 147 pounds. He fought his last fight against goddamn Rod Salka at a catch weight of 142 pounds. You know, and you also got to think, well, you got Mauricio Herrera out there, you got Jose Benavidez. You know, the 140-pound division is stacked. And when you think about Dellorme, just don't look at this fight. Look at how he matches up against the other 140-pounders, is all I'm saying. But Hank Lundy fought a good fight. It's nothing to put your head down. The Bible is one of those things where, well, It could go either way. And it wasn't until his trainer started really coming at him, you know, Barry Hunter started really coming at him. And I didn't know he also trains with Mike Stafford, who trains Adrian Broner. If you look at the way his trainer was coming at him, he was like, yo, you got to start doing something, basically. You know, so like I said, it was a tale of two fights. If it wasn't for that knockdown, most likely Hank Lundy would have probably got a draw or would have won the fight by a very close margin. I'm T Street Controversy with Real Combat Media. This is T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe. All my videos, interviews, boxing articles from others on boxing, mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu. The link right is the first link in the description box. So if you want to know about the Pacquiao Mayweather situation and all that information, everything involving boxing is right down below. T Street Controversy Live.